Hi guys, Nox here, just doing a quick video, just getting this one out on the basically on the Antarctic and the Arctic pole caps, and this is following on and to complement the video that D from I Always Seek has put out. A very good video that you should watch, but is some more information for you on my thoughts on what's currently happening. So this is a Daily Mail online article that was put out on the 12th of October. I'll read a bit of it to you, and then I'm going to go into a little bit of my theory on what's happening with this situation. So here we go. Now there's more ice at the South Pole than ever. So much for global warming thawing Antarctica. The sea ice is extended over 19.44 million square kilometres. Experts say record is suggestive of changes in atmospheric circulation. Okay, let's have a look. Ice around the South Pole has expanded to cover a record area, scientists revealed yesterday, a month after saying that the North Pole had lost an unprecedented amount of its ice. So this is the situation we have here, guys. We've got the North Pole with record low amounts of ice and the South Pole with record high amounts of ice. We can quite easily see there that there's an imbalance of kinds there, and overweight on the southern pole and underweight on the northern pole. Anyway, I shall carry on. Researchers say, rather confusingly, that both occurrences are down to the complex and surprising effects of global warming. The record Antarctic sea ice cover was revealed in satellite images from the US National Snow and Ice Data Center in Colorado. Okay, there's a picture of Antarctica. You can see its extension of its ice around the boundary there, so it's covering quite a substantial area now. And the records do go on to say, the article does go on to say that the records have only been going back to 1979, which obviously isn't a long time in the overall picture of things. But for the last 30 years, the amount of Antarctic sea ice has been increasing by 1% each decade. And while the rest of the world has been getting warmer over the last 50 years, large parts of the eastern Antarctic has been getting cooler. Scientists say a cooler Antarctic fits in with the unpredictable nature of climate change. Unpredictable. That means the scientists don't really know what's happening with that. Okay, just to carry on with this article a little bit more, I'm not going to read the whole amount. I'll put a link to it down below this video. Dr. Ted Scambos of the National Snow and Ice Data Center in Colorado said, "It sounds counterintuitive, but the Antarctic is part of the warming as well." Dr. Ted Maskim of the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institution in Massachusetts added, "A warming world can have complex and sometimes surprising consequences. Unlike the Arctic, which is open sea surrounded by land, the Antarctic is a massive continent surrounded by water." Okay, so there's basically scientific proof that the Antarctic ice is expanding. Let's now go and have a look at another article. Okay, it's not a recent scientific article, but it's a hypothesis that one Charles Hapgood proposed many years ago now. This is only part of the link, and I will, again, so you can do your own reading and make your own mind up, I will put the link down below. Okay, so basically the gist of what Charles Hapgood was saying was, he said that the Earth's crust could become displaced around its centre of rotation if there was an imbalance on the Earth, whether that was the polar caps or some other imbalance. But he said it was possible for the poles to shift to around basically the centre of rotation. The Earth's rotation wouldn't change, because that would mean the entire Earth, including core, tilting, but Charles Hapgood proposed that the Earth's crust could become displaced. Anyway, let's read a little bit of this article. Anyway, Charles Good basically put a lot of scientific papers out, and they were peer-reviewed by eminent scientists of the day, including Einstein, by the way, who also corroborated with his material. No better man to judge his work than Einstein, I wouldn't say. Anyway, let's read a bit of this. Brown's idea was not a new one. Some of the greatest geologists of the time, including J.C. Maxwell and Sir George Darwin, son of the famous Charles, considered this possibility and decided that the stabilizing effect of the equatorial bulge was so great that no conceivable force originating within the Earth could make it shift on its axis. except for the collision with another planet. So they're basically saying, the scientists of the Charles Hapgood's time, prior to that, were saying the Earth can't move in its axis because there's nothing that would create enough force to do so, other than a collision with another planet. They therefore dismissed the idea of any shift of the poles as impossible, and, in fact, not worth discussing. Their influence has been so pervasive that, to this day, no one has seriously considered such an hypothesis, until Charles Hapgood, who was a geologist. Hapgood too accepted the assumption that only a planetary collision is capable of displacing the axis of rotation. He proposed a theory that explained the shift of the poles as a result of the shift of the whole of Earth's crust. The disturbances needed to slide the Earth's crust were far less than those needed to tilt the entire planet, core and all. Based on the research of the Russian scientist V.V. Belousov, he assumed that at a depth of 100 miles or so in the upper mantle there is a layer of liquid rock, or magma, which behaves as a bearing, allowing the whole crust to shift when subjected to a displacing force. In Hapgood's opinion, this force is provided by the centrifugal momentum of ice caps eccentric to the poles. In other words, the weight of the ice on the poles is off-balancing the Earth's own daily rotation. Eventually, this imbalance gets to the point where a change occurs. According to Hapgood, the Earth keeps its axis of rotation unchanged, but the poles and the whole Earth's surface slide and change latitude. For a while, the Earth is balanced. So that's Hapgood's theory. Hapgood realised that the entire planet did not need to be repositioned around its axis to maintain its balance. Only the outer crust needed to move, just as the loosely peeled skin of an orange or avocado could be slid around the stationary inner fruit. This line of thinking was published in Earth-Shifting Crust in collaboration with James H. Campbell, a mathematician-engineer. Hapgood then proposed looking for Atlantis in a place where no one had ever suspected, Antarctica. That goes into a completely different subject, but anyway, I'll link this below and you can read some of Hapgood's stuff for yourself and make up your own mind. I'm now going to go on to another article, another recent article about research from scientists called Earth is Undergoing a True Polar Wonder, Scientists Say. Okay, let's have a look. Scientists developed a computer model to identify 4 possible instances of true polar wonder in the past, and they say true polar wonder is happening now. So they've used a computer model to predict that the Earth has in fact gone under pole shifts previously and is actually continuing with a wonder right now. So let's read a bit more of this article and make our own minds up. Scientists based in Germany and Norway today published new results about a geophysical theory known as true polar wonder. That is a drifting of Earth's solid exterior, an actual change in latitude for some land masses relative to our planet's rotation axis. I thought Charles Hapgood would come up with this one, and in fact I've just quoted you some of the work that he did. So it's not exactly new, this, but now these scientists are actually proposing it. These scientists use hotspots in Earth's mantle as a part of a computer model which they say is accurate for the past 120 million years, to identify 4 possible instances of true polar wonder in the past. And they say true polar wonder is happening now. These scientists published their results in the Journal for Geophysical Research today, October the 1st, 2012. The scientists, including Pavel V. Dubrovin and Trond H. Torsvik of the University of Oslo, and Bernhard Steinberger of the Helmholtz Center in Potsdam, Germany, established that what they believe is a stable reference frame for tracking true polar wonder. Based in this reference frame, they say that twice, from 90 to 40 million years ago, the solid Earth travelled back and forth by nearly 9 degrees with respect to our planet's axis of rotation. What's more, for the past 40 million years, the Earth's solid outer layers have been slowly rotating at a rate of 0.2 degrees every million years, according to these scientists. Well guys, what can I say? They're basically backing up Charles Hapgood's work and saying that Earth crust displacement and displacement of the Earth's crust, whichever way you want to say it, is actually possible. And they then go on to say true polar wonder is not a geomagnetic reversal or reversal of Earth's magnetic field, known to have happened before in the Earth's history, so that is possible as well, but this isn't what we're talking about here. Plate tectonics, again, that's something completely different, or precession of the Earth, whereby our world's axis of rotation slowly moves, tracing out a circle among the stars. And they've gone on to say that a true polar wonder is a geophysical theory, a way of thinking about Earth processes that might happen and that these scientists believe do happen. The theory suggests that if an object of sufficient weight on Earth, for example a supersized volcano or other weighty landmass, the imbalance of polar caps for example, perhaps, formed far from the Earth's equator, the force of the Earth's rotation would gradually pull the object away from the axis around which the Earth spins. A supersized volcano far from the Earth's equator could create an imbalance. In other words, as explained in Princeton Edu, if the volcano's land and other masses that exist within the spinning Earth ever became sufficiently imbalanced, the planet would tilt and rotate itself until its extra weight was relocated to a point along the equator. Wow, I mean that's like a 90-degree shift from the South Pole to the equator if that would happen. So basically they're saying that it is entirely possible for the poles to shift. And what could cause it? An imbalanced polar ice cap. Too little ice in the north and too much ice in the south. I'm not saying, guys, by the way, this is going to happen anytime in the near future. I'm just saying it's a possibility and it's something that we really need to keep our eyes on. I'm going to do another article shortly as well as to what could be causing all of this. But just for now, just do your own research. Have a look. I'm going to post these links below. Have a look into it yourself and make your own minds up and see what you think. Basically, I think a pole shift, it's not out of the realms of possibility, and some scientists just completely dismiss the idea, as I've already stated. Anyway, guys, enjoy looking at the information. Post below what you think and what you think of this video, and feel free to comment on this. I'll post it in all the usual places. I'll post it on the Anunnaki group page, Anunnaki Alien Gods and Spirituality website, and the Anunnaki Alien Gods and Spirituality Facebook group. Okay, that's it for now, guys. See you later.